Hello students, I am Sucheta Parikar, teacher in physics, Ferguson College, Pune 4. I am going to teach you the chapter Thermodynamics, chapter number 4 from 12th standard physics syllabus. The branch thermodynamics of physics has various applications in your day-to-day life. The processes which are used in thermodynamics are used in various types of engines, for example, heat engine, diesel engine, then refrigerator, air conditioner, and heat pump, and so on. Now let us continue the topic thermodynamics by using the smart board. So, chapter number 4, thermodynamics. Let us see the contents of the topic: thermal equilibrium, thermodynamic process, zeroth law of thermodynamics, heat, internal energy and work, thermodynamic system and process, thermodynamic state variable and equation of state, and irreversible processes, isothermal, isobaric, isochoric and adiabatic processes, cyclic processes and free expansion. Introduction for the topic. Now, students, in 11th standard, you have studied thermal properties of matter. In 12th standard, in this topic, we will study laws that will govern the behavior of thermal energy. We can see here various processes in which the heat is converted into work and the work is converted into heat. Now let us understand thermodynamics by considering various examples. So see the first example: when we drive a vehicle, its engine gets warmer after some time. Similarly, when we do the exercise, we also feel warmth in our body. Now, what do you understand from both these examples? We are doing some work and the work is converted into heat. So see here, same physics phenomena is involved in both these examples. Now let me give you another example in which now we are doing, the heat is supplied to the machine or engine and that is converted into work. So the example I am giving you, that is the heat engine. So what the heat engine will do? The heat engine absorbs the heat and it converts it into some useful amount of work. So let us try to understand the meaning of today's topic, that is thermodynamics. So thermodynamics is the branch of physics that deals with the concepts of heat and temperature and the interconversion of heat and other forms of energy. So remember, heat is a form of energy and heat can be converted into work or work can be converted into heat. Now let us consider few more examples. So see here, when a hot object is hot, when a hot object is in contact with the cold object, the hot object gets cooler and the cold object is warmer. So this means that heat is exchanged between the two objects. According to modern theory, heat is a form of energy. Okay? Now, after this, we have to consider an important concept in the topic thermodynamics, that is thermal equilibrium. Okay? So let us explain, I will explain you thermal equilibrium by again few more examples. So see here the first example: if you put a piece of ice in water at room temperature, what happens to the ice? The ice melts. This is because the water at room temperature transfers its heat to ice and it helps the ice to melt. Consider another example. when a hot water is mixed with cold water, it transfers its heat to the cold water and the hot water cools down. Okay, so here in case of the hot and cold water, see here, the two components reach a stage where there is no more transfer of heat. So students, have you understood what do you mean by thermal equilibrium? See here, the piece of ice and the water, or the hot water and the cold water. Means what we are considering here are two objects which are initially at two different temperatures. When they are brought in contact with each other, then there is a transfer of heat takes place between the two. How the transfer takes place? Let us see here. So see, heat is something that is transferred from a substance at higher temperature to that at a lower temperature. And this transfer continues till the level of heat content in both the substances that is same. And then we say that a thermal equilibrium is reached between the two substances. Okay, so have you understood thermal equilibrium? The transfer of heat between the two bodies takes place till the temperature of both the objects will remain same. Now the same thing is represented by this picture which is there in the slide. So see here, the warmer object is at higher temperature, the colder object that is at lower temperature, and now see here, the heat transfer is taking place from the hot object to the cold object till the level of heat content in both the substances that should become the same. So we will continue with this thermal equilibrium now by considering the definition. So once again, what is the definition of thermal equilibrium? When two objects, they are at the same temperature, they are in thermal equilibrium. Now after this, we have to study about the thermal equilibrium which is taking place in a system. Now throughout my lecture, I am using this word system very frequently. So what do you mean by system? We will see the proper definition in the next article, but for the time being, you can remember that a system may be a glass of water, or a system may be a gas which is enclosed in a cylinder. And whenever today we are studying the topic thermodynamics, we are studying the system or the matter in bulk. We are studying now the macroscopic view of matter. Means we are not going into the molecular or atomic level. We are considering the system that is in bulk whenever we talk about the word thermodynamics. So when two objects are at same temperature, they are in thermal equilibrium. So similarly, how the systems are in thermal equilibrium, let us see. So two systems are in thermal contact with each other. They are in thermal equilibrium if they do not transfer heat between each other. Heat always gets transferred from a substance which is at higher temperature to another substance which is at lower temperature. Okay, so after this, the important law today we have to see from the topic thermodynamics, which is called as the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Now a question may arise in your mind, why it is called as zeroth law? Because see here, the law was proposed after the formulation of first and second law of thermodynamics. So the law is called as the zeroth law. And we will see later on the importance of zeroth law of thermodynamics. So let us see first of all the statement. So the statement of the zeroth law of thermodynamics is, if two systems are each in thermal equilibrium with a third system, then they are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. Now, by reading the sentence, you might not understood the things in a proper manner. So let me explain you this with the help of a diagram. So the figure shows the schematic representation of zeroth law of thermodynamics. So suppose A, B, C are the three systems. Now how to imagine? You imagine that I have three glasses kept on the table with three different liquids, and remember, with three different temperatures. Okay, I told you earlier that a glass filled with water can be considered as the system. So suppose A, B, C are the three systems. Here the arrow which is in the double direction, this indicates you the thermal equilibrium which is existing between the system A and between the system C. So what is the first half part of the diagram that is representing that system A and system C, they are in thermal equilibrium. So see here the other part of the diagram. Similarly, if system A is in thermal equilibrium with system B, okay, then according to the statement of zeroth law of thermodynamics, here you can have a conclusion that system B must be in thermal equilibrium with system C. Okay, and then the final conclusion, remember students, that is very important than that it will lead to a conclusion that system A, B and C, all of them, they are at same temperature. So if the three systems, they are in thermal equilibrium, then please remember the temperature of the three systems must be same. Now after this, you should know the importance of zeroth law of thermodynamics. Remember, the law enables us to give the idea of a new concept, that is temperature scale. By the way, you have studied in 11th standard what is meant by a temperature. So the temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness possessed by the object. Okay, so what do you mean by temperature scale? Okay, so here we will here I will show you the animation which clearly tells you how the thermal equilibrium is attained by the two objects A and B. Observe the initial temperature of object A. It is at higher temperature. Observe it, it is at 40 degree. And observe the lower object B, it is at lower temperature, that is 20 degree. And now what are these blue lines they are representing? The blue lines, they represent you the transfer of heat which is taking place from object A to object B. And notice the temperature when the thermal equilibrium is attained. Please remember, both the objects A and B, they will have the same temperature, that is 13.4 degrees centigrade. So I think with the help of this animation, it is clear and you can easily understand that till the heat content of both the objects becomes same, the transfer of heat will be taking place from the object which is at higher temperature to another object which is at lower temperature. So I was talking earlier about the importance of the zeroth law of thermodynamics. The law enables us to give you the idea about temperature scale. Okay, so temperature scale I am talking, and you are aware that the temperature we are measuring with the help of the instrument, that is the thermometer. Okay, so what do you mean by thermometry? You have seen in 11th standard, I am just revising that it is the science of measuring the temperatures. And as you are aware, if I use the thermometer, then remember there are different scales. One scale is in degrees Celsius and another scale, that is degrees Fahrenheit. So here we are showing in the diagram, the picture, it shows you that the thermometry, that is the branch of science that deals with the measurement of temperature, with different scales that are possible, that the temperature can be measured in degrees centigrade as well as degrees Fahrenheit. Now, how the zeroth law is important, because as I told you earlier, it enables us to define the concept of temperature scale, and it enables us to use the thermometer to compare the temperature of different liquids. For example, it is shown in the diagram two different liquids. Imagine the first liquid is hot and imagine the other liquid that is cold. Now, what is the role of the thermometer that you are immersing in the liquid? So see here, when there is a thermal equilibrium between the thermometer and the liquid that is taking place, then the thermometer reads the temperature of that particular liquid or that particular object. So here I told you in the first beaker you have the hot liquid. So the thermal equilibrium between the hot liquid and the thermometer that is taking place, due to that the thermometer is recording the temperature of that liquid. Similarly, if you consider another liquid, different temperature in beaker B. So then what will happen? When the thermometer is in thermal equilibrium with the liquid B, okay, it will be reading the temperature of that particular liquid. Now remember, this use is, I will give you the practical example, the principle of zeroth law of thermodynamics and the thermal equilibrium. It is frequently used by the doctors. When a doctor reads the temperature of the patient, then we are using here the same principle. The thermometer and the patient's body, when they are in thermal equilibrium, the thermometer will read the temperature of that particular person, that is the patient. So there are various applications, and the first thing is we are using now here thermometer, which enables us to record the temperature. So that is the great importance or the great advantage of the zeroth law of thermodynamics, very important law. Okay. Now after this, we have to study about heat and internal energy. Now let us talk about heat once again, which I am revising. So what we have seen till now, when two substances initially are at different temperatures, when they are brought in contact with each other, the substance at higher temperature loses its heat and the substance at lower temperature gains the heat. Okay, so you are always aware that the transfer of heat always takes place from a substance which is at higher temperature to another substance which is at lower temperature. Now today we are studying very important concept in thermodynamics, that is about the internal energy. Now first of all I will give you the definition of internal energy, and then later on I am going to explain you the definition. So let us see the definition of internal energy. Internal energy is defined as energy associated with random disordered motion of the molecules of a system. Okay, this is the basic definition, and I can explain you more clearly with the help of this animation. Okay, so see here, what do you mean by system? You should understand a little bit in a more clear manner. So here, remember, whatever the size of the object, though the object is large or though it is small, every object or every system consists of a group of atoms and molecules. Okay? And what is internal energy? Internal energy is the energy associated with the random disordered motion of the molecules of the system. Now here I told you to imagine, what do you mean by system? You may imagine that a glass which is filled with water, which is kept on the table, is suppose our system. Now remember here in this case, as the glass is not moving, I can say here that the kinetic energy of the glass, that is the system, which is equal to 0. So also the potential energy of the system, that is also zero. But then what we have to consider right now is you have to recall the knowledge which you have studied in the previous topic, chapter number 3, kinetic theory of gases. So see here, if the glass which is filled with water, though it is kept on the table, though it is at rest, what happens to the liquid molecules which are present in the glass? Now remember, the molecules, they are moving in a random speed at room temperature. So therefore, we have to consider the kinetic energy of the molecules. So now remember, if you consider a monoatomic gas like argon, then you have to consider from the kinetic theory, the kinetic energy possessed by all these gas molecules, which will be purely translational kinetic energy. But if you consider a diatomic or polyatomic gas, for example, carbon dioxide, then what you have to consider is, along with the translational kinetic energy, you have to consider the rotational as well as the vibrational kinetic energy for the di as well as polyatomic gas molecules. Now, plus one more thing you should consider, that is the potential energy possessed by all these gas molecules. So, as you know that for the gas molecules, there are interatomic forces of attraction which are present, and therefore the gas molecules, they will possess the potential energy. Then now, what do you mean by the net energy? So here, see the second definition of internal energy. Internal energy of a substance is the total energy of all these atoms and molecules. So just now I have explained you the kinetic energy of the gas molecules for monoatomic, translational, for di as well as polyatomic, the rotational plus vibrational, that is the sum total of the kinetic energy. And the potential energy is present due to the interatomic molecular forces of attraction, and do the sum total, it will be the net energy. As you are always aware that the energy of a substance or a body is the sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy. So same thing we are doing. And now, what is internal energy? That is important. So this internal energy is nothing but the total energy possessed by all the atoms and molecules. So now I think you have clearly understood what do you mean by internal energy. After this, today, as I have told you earlier, you have to study the exact definition of a thermodynamic system. So what is the thermodynamic system? It is the collection of group of objects that can form a unit which may have ability to exchange the energy with the surrounding. I told you to imagine a glass which is filled with water. That is your system. Now let us try to understand the definition of environment, and then I will go back to the system again. So see here, this is suppose the system, okay? A glass which is filled with water. Remember, the water is your system. Then what do you mean by boundary? The borders of the vessel. The vessel is your boundary. And what do you mean by environment? So see the definition. Anything that is not the part of the system is its environment. So whatever the atmosphere which is present above the liquid, that is water in the glass, that thing will be the environment. Okay? So you have understood the definition of a system and the environment. Okay? After this, we have to see today about the classification of thermodynamic systems on the basis of probable transfer of heat and the matter. Now, the thermodynamic systems are classified in three ways: the open system, the closed system, and the isolated system. Okay, so let us see here the diagram first of all for the open system. I will give you a simple example that I have taken a vessel which is filled partially with water and I have kept the water for boiling. So here what will happen after the steam is formed? Now see here in this case, the water is boiling and after some time the steam will be escaping to the surrounding as well as the heat energy that is also escaping to the surrounding. So water kept for boiling in a kettle which is open, the lid is not closed, will be the best example for the open system. Now what do you mean by second type? What do you mean by a closed system? Now I'm keeping the water for boiling, but now remember I will close the lid of the pot or I will close the lid of the kettle in which the water is boiling. Now you tell me, is the matter, that is the steam, is allowed to pass? The answer is no. So remember, what do you mean by a closed system? A system in which the heat energy gets transferred and not the matter, then the system that is called as the closed system. After that, we have to see here the third type of system, that is the isolated system. The best example I can give you regarding the isolated system, that is the thermos flask, in which now neither the matter nor the heat can be transferred to the environment or the surrounding. So isolated system is completely closed. It is completely isolated from the environment and no transfer of heat as well as matter that is possible. After this, we have to see today about thermodynamic process. So what do you mean by thermodynamic process? It is a process in which the thermodynamic state of a system that is changed. For example, water is kept for boiling. Now before I boil the water, please note the pressure, volume and temperature of the system, that is different. And once the water is boiled and if I close it with the help of lid, then remember the steam is created, the pressure on the walls of the vessel. So again, the PVT for the system, when the water has boiled, it will be different. So thermodynamic process is a process in which the thermodynamic state of a system that is changed. Okay? Hello students. Today we have started our fourth topic, thermodynamics, which means interconversion of work into heat and vice versa. We have seen various concepts in this topic. Okay? I hope that you have understood. Thank you.